me as a speaker breathing down my neck. So it's good to see you all already almost seated so we can start the planning process. And during the break, while you got refreshed, we did some last minute tricks and tweaks. Tricks actually, because we do it for the first time, so I needed to make a run for ASAP 4 because I left some stuff and then we find it here. But the majority of the product teams have their features, dependencies planned. I'm going to explain how it works. One of us is actually bringing the features from the competence centers as well, from the Obeya room to here. Need to put that on the checklist for next time as well. So what are we going to do to get to the plan? So we start at 11:30 with all the teams. And we start with the enabling epics. So the prioritized list of enabling epics, like I said, this is what we prepared, this is where we start. Then we'll have lunch, we'll have a dedicated lunch slot because we want to have everybody available, so it doesn't make really sense to some people continue working, some people having lunch and then vice versa. So let's take our time to have a proper lunch. And then we gradually move towards the business epics, because most likely, that's the expectation, we planned our enabling epics and corresponding features, and then the product owners and product teams that were involved in the business epics, they have been in touch before, can move over to the business epics, where we have a number of people from the business actually here to explain, so what is it that this business epic really is? Why is it important? And what do we need from you? So, moving from the enabling epics to the business epics, this is how we plan. Yeah, we want to keep track of how the planning process is going. So we use the scrums of scrums. And this gives us not insight into what we will deliver, because that's on the planning board, but it will give us insight into how well our planning process is going. Where are we? I'm going to explain it in more detail later. Then, sounding the gong. Plenary, we're going to take a step back, because of course we're all aligning with stakeholders for our own product team, refining, really having the questions and the dialogue on what is really needed. But then we're going to step back and see as GIA and Central and our stakeholders, so what does the plan look like? What do we see? Do we see any patterns evolving? Do we see stuff that we forgot? I don't know, because that's based on the outcome. We'll do that plenary. I will walk around together with Agile coaches to highlight some things we find interesting. Then, based on what we see, based on patterns, based on maybe impediments or issues we need to solve, we have a leadership inspector in depth. And together with Carlos, DJ, saw Gerard just now, leadership that's here, portfolio owners, competence center leads, we're going to take a look and, hey, are there any priority calls that we need to make? Are there any impediments that we can solve here? Or if not, at least give the guidance to the product teams, hey, you say this is an impediment, I'm quite certain I can solve it in 2 weeks. So act as if it's not there. It's this guidance that we look for. But also the other way around. Leadership can also inspect and say, hey, I see this is not getting planned, what's hindering us? What do we need to do as an organization to get there? Then we'll continue with the confidence vote. We start with the stakeholders. Needed to adjust the slide. To get a first glance, how confident are stakeholders that this is what the OPCO needs, the region, or whatever stakeholder or whatever group they might represent. Then we go to the product teams. How confident are you in delivering upon this plan? And we end up with the leadership. How confident are we as a leadership that our organization is going to deliver upon these plans or solve the impediments that we identified? So plan board. I will walk to the board because I think that works best. So, like said by Carlos, here we have the P's and the guidance where we want to end up in 2 years, but also explicit guidance where we want to end up at the end of the upcoming wave. Then we have the prioritized epics. One of the learnings for myself is I need more swim lanes, or we need to make more decisions. But this is the number of priorities that we have, and it's in this order. So that helps in making decisions. Then for all the teams, and many thanks, all product teams, competence center teams, for reaching out. How can we prepare and actually delivering your refined features that you want to deliver in the upcoming wave? Because I think I spent 3 hours printing them, slicing them, and making sure that we can put them on the board. You will recognize them in your team lane by the white feature card. This is also where the guys from Stata joined. This is what we copy with pride from you, so thanks. And the white cards are your original features. Then on top of that, if you look at the board, the pre-defined dependencies following the template that a lot of people actually asked about, which I mentioned earlier today. We put them there as well. And what is a dependency? Because last time one of them, I believe the connectivity team said, I have almost 15 teams having 10 dependencies on me. That's quite overwhelming. And then we said, yeah, but most of the time they're like standard requests, etc., etc. So we made a small definition of what is a dependency actually. So dependency is a significant amount of development work to be done by another product team, and that requires a backlog item on that product team. Backlog. So the dependency card always remains with the feature, with the product team who has the dependency in order to deliver. You are the owner of this dependency. You are in the lead to mitigate it, to solve it, or to raise it with stakeholders, management, whatever you need in order to get it fixed, in order to get delivered. Then you also see the red cards. These are, in terms of visual management, signaling cards. So what does a red card tell me? At this moment, I would say it tells me we have a lot of ambition. And other than that, the red card signals this feature has not been planned, has not been committed yet. So by default, we're in a bad shape, which seems a bit off, but I think Agile is also doing things differently, seeing what works. Because now, in order to plan by a product team, and we take this as an example, if I commit to this, if I manage any dependencies, I will feel confident that I'll be able to make it. I'm not going to rip it apart, sorry guys. We take it off, because that signals this is what we're going to deliver. This gives us insight into how much of this ambition we're going to deliver. And the way we do it from top to bottom. Because here, we have to prioritize epics. So it would be strange if all of a sudden I see here a lot of white, we're delivering upon this priority, but not that. Because why are we not delivering upon our highest priority? So throughout the day, throughout the planning process, you will see this happening, hopefully. And then at a certain moment, we always have more ambition than capacity. Some things will not be delivered, or we feel uncomfortable delivering. Then we have a discussion about that, see what we can do in order to get it still in the wave. But if not, then that's it. And then we, as a learning organization, are going to find out, so what can we do next time in order to increase our capacity? Maybe we lower our amount of incidents, then we have more development capacity, in order to deliver more value. Then we have the scrums of scrums, because we'll do this in a almost 4 hour time slot. And during the scrums of scrums, we're going to inspect, so how well are product teams doing? How is it going? So we do that on two times, 12:15 and 2 o'clock. And what the Scrum Masters will do for their Scrum teams is, and these are the, let's say, hygiene factors of a planning process. It's not complete, but it's a good first shot. So are your features estimated? Because if you know your capacity, also one of the quality checks, first you need to know how big, how complex is it approximately. It doesn't really matter if this is by hours, because I saw that in the past. I think this project is almost 20 man-years. Yeah, well, I don't believe in that anymore. So it's a first shot at how big is it. Maybe it's t-shirt size for your team. Maybe it's like this is an S, that's an XL. we said to the Scrum Masters and the product owners, do whatever works for your team. If you use t-shirt size, use t-shirt size. If you use story points, use story points. Because it needs to work for you. You need to come to planning that you feel comfortable with. This is also by design in a bad shape. So as, let's say I'm a Scrum Master, for cloud and hosting I'm a Scrum Master, then I help my team to get the features estimated. How big is this actually? Not exactly for the first shot. Do we know our capacity? Are people on holiday? Do we need to solve audit findings? Do we need to do awareness trainings? Do we have congresses, training, or whatever? We need to know our capacity. If we have dependencies, then are they managed? And managed is not, I'm written in blood, yes, I will deliver your piece of development work by then. This is, I think that's also collaborate to trust and predominantly collaborate. If you reach out to a different product team and a product owner and you get a face-to-face interaction saying, I will deliver this, in terms of managing, for now, that's good enough. Of course, you keep the visibility in your product team because you need to actively manage and follow up. But for now, that's good enough. And any issues, are they solved? The goal is not per se to have this completely empty. It needs to be transparent. Because if it's empty, but actually there's some issue somewhere, yeah, well, then we're fooling ourselves. So let's make it as transparent as possible. Schematically, this is what I would expect happening during those Scrum sprints. So the more, let's say, easy, straightforward ones and predictable ones, we already prepared. And in the end, maybe Team B has some issues that cannot be resolved, that need leadership attention or need a proper follow-up during the wave. And Team D needs to do some more work. Can be. So then we have the leadership board, which is actually a small place in between the product teams and competence center teams and the prioritized epics. And like I said this morning,
What are you saying?
taking a left here on the spot.
Yes.
Like I said this morning, this can go both ways. So if you take a look at the presentation, then Team D has an issue delivering upon the number one priority, which they cannot solve by themselves.